Everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Taking a quick look here at Injective. Looks like it's doing fairly well. About to break out of this most recent trend line here, or essentially resistance level, and obviously honoring specific trends. We'll talk about that and much more. So if you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. I love to teach people to trade. Hope you can learn something here today. We're going to discuss a little bit about this power of three that one of my community members brought to our attention. The truth is, it is definitely fulfilling that, where it came down to effectively, create this lower pocket there, and then where the third wave, in most cases, is an upper range to sweep this previous level of liquidity, which we see is accumulating quite strong. So we're going to discuss that and a few other key factors here. So if you're new to the channel, again, welcome aboard. Hope you can learn something. Do me a favor, hit the like button before we get started, just to help grow the channel. YouTube's algorithm really blows for my content, and unfortunately, a lot of people are missing out on some good stuff here. So what we want to look at here first is the backend data, Injective, and just kind of talk a little bit about liquidation and discuss that we have a lot more liquidation above here, which is just above the current price action. So it would make sense for the price to pump to like 41.20, 41, maybe 42 is a rough estimate. Once that level is, has been swept, we could see a reversal. We do have a lot of accumulation, about 32. But what we want to discuss, though, on the charts is a few other key factors, right? Before we do, we want to say quick congrats to our community members. Nice cash in here for Reef, 101% in 15 days. Dogecoin, 84% in 15 days. XRP, 7 days, 35%. And then Crowcoin, 30% in 5 days, I think it was. Litecoin, Polkadot, and Atom. Some really good trades here. We cashed in yesterday and today. So again, swing trading, folks, just a little bit of patience is all it takes. A lot of profits there, so congrats for filling your bags here. What we want to look at on the daily, though, is a couple of things. First of all, got this previous candlestick closure. This is the previous high at about 39.50. While it's not exact science, we can see this volume profile, the heaviest accumulation at $38.75, which is right there at the previous day closes as well. So we can see roughly 3-4 days of candlestick closures right there at that range. Couldn't pass that level. Now today we are so far so good. We've got 33 minutes left in this candle, seeming pretty likely we're going to close above that range. And that'll be a new thing for us. And if that is the case, then a stronger probability the price pivots off this range here of about 39.50, 38.75, and comes back higher to sweep this level of liquidity. Okay, so it's just looking like that in the outside from the big picture. Now, do we take a trade because that one thing? No, but we add things up and we realize, hey, upper liquidity levels there at about $41, $42. We've got previous liquidity level that still hasn't been swept of the upper $45 range. In fact, we didn't take a look at the 1 month to confirm that. Let's go ahead and see. Because typically the 1 month does show, well, it mostly just shows the $41, $42 range. It doesn't show that massive candle wick up there, but once again, that can change depending on the exchange, right? In Binance, there's still a lot of liquidity left. So in that sense, that's kind of a positive contributing factor here, letting us know the price action should continue higher. Hypothetically, we're above all moving averages. That's a very positive sign. We're over 50 on the RSI, stochastic swinging up, money flow index trailing behind, coming up as well. And we got ourselves a nice little MACD convergence here in the last 48 hours. So those are all signs that you would want to consider leaning more towards the price going up than going down. Now, can it pull back between now and whenever you watch this? Yeah. It'll probably pull back as soon as you take a long entry. That's just how it works. But on the same accord, we look in the macro and we can understand that the likelihood of further upside is greater than it is further downside. But again, that's a bigger picture movement, right? There's a lot of meat left on the bone here for the last 24 hours, and that could very well get swept too. So is that going to? Let's discuss that. Well, 4-hour time frame tells us a few different scenarios here. First of all, RSI is retesting 70. There's a strong likelihood of breaking through that level the more you retest it. Stochastic still kind of swinging up, nothing crazy to see there, but money flow index is still above the RSI. MACD is converging, we're above all moving averages here as well, and we can just kind of summarize that the price action is looking pretty good. So what we could very well see here is, this could be the beginning of a cup and handle pattern, and in which, if that is the case, we'll probably experience something along these lines here, where the price action pulls back to these lower fib levels and bounces off 36.50 and or 37.80. Those would be secondary or tertiary targets for me to enter if I decide to take a long on this coin right now. Some thoughts, food for thought, right? So I hope you're hungry. There's plenty of that here. And what we want to look at as well is TD sequential. Are we overextended? No, we're getting some nice healthy resets. Our most recent 9, we were able to get a nice little pullback there for a reset back up to a 4. So hypothetically, we've got another 20, 24, 32 hours of continuation left to the upside before the price pulls back. If it does pull back, I think that if it were to create a channel here descendingly, we should be able to see that next breakout. Okay, so again, looking pretty solid here in the overall sense. I do not dislike what I see here so far. How does the Ichimoku Cloud say? What does it say? Well, it tells us a green light for all open long positions. Do not short into this coin is basically what it's telling us. While we are possibly overextended, we're at a 6. We could pull back. It would make sense for the price to pull back and or pivot right here and continue higher. The most recent high, essentially based on previous day closures, closures, however you want to say it. I don't care. I fumble on that word sometimes just because I say it so quickly. And yes, I do say things fast. I'm sorry. You might just want to slow the playback speed down. Some folks ask me to slow it down. I do apologize for that, but I don't think I can do that. Okay. Other than that, really, honestly, not too much else we can note. The only thing else I would say is that with it, kind of retesting this range here at $40, if the price doesn't pull back again, these more recent fib levels would make sense. Again, this level here at about 236 and or 0.382, these are common fib retracement levels for cup and handle patterns. So I wouldn't be surprised the price pulls back here and continues higher. The general consensus, though, is that when it does that, it's accumulating at a higher volume profile, adding more volume to this upper range, and essentially legging up based on the fact that it's hitting this more recent low, or more recent high, new low, essentially. So as you can kind of see here, I know it's kind of hard to see with all this stuff on the charts. Generally speaking, these levels do have a tendency of holding place, the price action in place. It's doing fairly well of that the whole time. So this coin honestly looks pretty prime for a good long. And I know it's tough to want to take a long when the price is already up about 7-8% on the day. So you maybe want to consider waiting. But if you don't wait, just say for example, there's a good chance the price could continue to run. Oftentimes when you break through a resistance like we've seen here so far, it'll retest that as a support and continue higher. So me personally, I like to get some skin in the game sometimes, and potentially have a secondary or tertiary target to get into the price action a little bit later. But this absolutely looks like a bigger picture play. And just to quickly put perspective on this, if you're curious of power of 3, it's a scenario where the price action manipulates. We got like a consolidation phase, and then smart money moves in, manipulates the price action lower. Everyone's concerned it's going to go lower, and then they shoot the price action higher. We're right here at the beginning of this tail end phase here, and it seems likely because of the fact that we're consolidating this previous resistance level, turn support, right? So if we see that on the charts, we can kind of recognize that the price action is more likely to pivot and bounce off this level. Okay, again, just statistical probabilities, folks. These are not guarantees by any stretch. You take a long right now, the price drops, that is trading for you. All the more reason why you use low leverage and low position size so you're not getting destroyed as soon as you enter the trade. Because to me personally, for a swing trade, my entry, I could take or leave because I like to average in. Okay, some people are surgical about their entries, but you know how many opportunities they miss? Quite a lot. I love missing opportunities. I have no problem with it. But in a situation like this, we have a pretty solid little play out here so far. Everything's appearing to be very bullish on larger time frames, and the hourly is confirming the price action is more likely to go up. I would say it's best to get in before you can't. Right? Again, just my thoughts there. Hopefully that made sense. I described that correctly. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out Bitunix as well. Phenomenal exchange, highly recommended. They're adding Injective here soon to the exchange. Link down below. If you use my link to register, you get $5,500 in rewards. Really good stuff there. Potential rewards, of course. I mean, not everyone qualifies for all of it, but you can get a lot if you want. Again, use the link down below. No KYC or VPN for this exchange. Extremely beneficial. Check them out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of the day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.